modern attackers don't stop at one entry point. They move across endpoints, networks, cloud environments, email systems, and user identities all at once. Traditional antivirus only protects one of these layers, the endpoint. XDR watches all of them, connecting the dots across every attack surface. That gap is exactly what this video is about. Let us break down which solution your organization truly needs. Welcome to a crucial exploration of modern cybersecurity. For decades, businesses have relied heavily on traditional antivirus software to protect their digital assets. However, the digital landscape has completely transformed. The threats we face today are incredibly sophisticated, often bypassing legacy defenses without triggering a single alarm. Today, we are going to examine the critical gap between traditional antivirus and modern extended detection and response technology, known as XDR. In this video, we do a complete head-to-head comparison of antivirus and XDR security platforms. On one side, antivirus, the traditional, single endpoint guardian that billions rely on daily. On the other, XDR, the modern, AI-powered unified platform built for enterprise-grade threats. Let us find out which one your organization truly needs. Let us start by clearly defining what antivirus is. Antivirus is a traditional endpoint security tool designed to detect, block, and remove known malware. It is specifically engineered to protect against familiar threats like viruses, trojans, worms, and spyware that attempt to infiltrate your system. Crucially, its entire operational paradigm is restricted to a single device. It acts like a digital bouncer at the front door of your personal computer. To understand its limitations, we must look at its history. In the early 1980s, the first computer viruses emerged as simple academic experiments. By the 1990s, commercial antivirus software exploded in popularity. They relied heavily on massive signature databases to identify malicious code. As threats grew more complex into the 2000s, basic heuristics were introduced. However, the core philosophy remained focused solely on the endpoint. The primary mechanism of antivirus is signature-based detection. Think of it like a digital wanted poster. When a new file arrives on your computer, the antivirus scans its unique cryptographic hash and compares it against a massive database. If the file's hash perfectly matches a known malware signature in the database, the antivirus immediately blocks it. Because hackers constantly alter their malware to evade signatures, modern antivirus also relies on heuristic analysis. When an unknown file appears without a matching signature, the software examines its behavior and internal structure. If the file attempts to modify critical system registries or inject code into other processes, the heuristic engine flags it as highly suspicious. Antivirus runs continuously in the background, intercepting every file that enters system memory in real time. Every time you download an email attachment, open a document, or install a program, the scanner intercepts and checks that file before it executes. The scanner moves rapidly across each file in memory, ensuring no malicious code slips through into active execution. When a threat is successfully identified, the final step is quarantine and removal. Rather than simply deleting the file, which might break dependencies, it is moved to an isolated, encrypted vault. This securely neutralizes the threat, preventing it from executing while allowing administrators to investigate it later. Despite these features, the fundamental limitation of antivirus is its extremely narrow scope. It is entirely restricted to protecting a single endpoint, such as a laptop, desktop, or a dedicated server. It has zero visibility into what is happening on the broader network or in the cloud. It is effectively blind to the outside world. This isolated approach is precisely why standalone antivirus completely fails against modern, sophisticated cyber attacks. Hackers no longer use easily detectable malware files. They use fileless malware and stolen credentials that reside purely in memory. Because there is no file to scan and no signature to match, the attack bypasses the antivirus entirely, compromising the system silently. In the past, organizations built massive digital perimeters around their corporate networks, locking everything inside. However, the explosion of cloud computing and remote work has completely shattered this perimeter. Data flows freely across boundaries. Protecting just the endpoint is no longer enough. We must secure the entire interconnected ecosystem. This is exactly why the industry evolved toward XDR, which stands for Extended Detection and Response. XDR is a modern, unified security platform that collects and critically correlates threat data across multiple security layers. Instead of siloed alerts, it provides comprehensive, organization-wide threat detection paired with automated response capabilities. To understand XDR, we must examine its distinct layers. The foundational layer remains the endpoints. It continuously streams advanced behavioral telemetry from laptops, desktops, and servers directly into the central analytics hub. This effectively absorbs traditional antivirus functionality into a much larger, smarter ecosystem. The second massive layer is network traffic analysis. XDR monitors the intricate web of data packets flowing between devices, firewalls, and external servers. If an attacker establishes a hidden command and control connection, the network layer detects the anomaly instantly. The third critical layer encompasses cloud environments and infrastructure. Modern businesses host their most sensitive data on AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud. XDR integrates deeply with these platforms. XDR secures containerized applications, serverless functions, and cloud storage buckets against unauthorized access. The fourth layer focuses heavily on corporate email systems. Email remains the absolute primary vector for phishing, ransomware delivery, and social engineering attacks. By ingesting email gateways into the XDR platform, the system can track a malicious attachment from the inbox all the way to execution. Finally, we have the crucial layer of identity and access management. XDR monitors Active Directory and identity providers to watch for suspicious logins or privilege escalation. If an employee's credentials are stolen and used from a foreign country at 3 a.m., XDR immediately identifies the anomaly. So, how exactly does XDR process all of this disparate information? The first step is massive data ingestion. XDR collects raw telemetry from every single layer we just discussed. It pulls millions of logs, network traces, and file hashes into a centralized data lake, organizing it for immediate analysis. Once the data is centralized, XDR applies powerful artificial intelligence and machine learning algorithms. Human analysts cannot manually sift through millions of logs. The AI engine automatically establishes baselines for normal behavior. It constantly hunts for statistical deviations and behavioral anomalies that mathematically indicate an ongoing cyber attack. The true magic of XDR is event correlation. Individually, these actions might look harmless to isolated security tools. An email click, a PowerShell launch, a brief network connection. But XDR stitches these seemingly unrelated events together. It maps out the entire attack timeline, revealing that these actions are actually the sequential stages of a coordinated ransomware attack. Once a multi-stage threat is verified, XDR does not just send an email alert to the security team. It initiates an automated response. In machine time, it triggers playbooks to neutralize the threat immediately. It can autonomously isolate the compromised endpoint from the network and temporarily disable the stolen user account, stopping the attacker cold. Now that we understand both technologies, let's compare them side by side, starting with their primary focus. Antivirus has a rigid primary focus, strict malware detection operating solely on individual endpoints. XDR, on the other hand, abstracts away from just files. Its focus is comprehensive threat detection across every security layer in your organization. When we look at their respective data sources, the disparity becomes immense. Antivirus is starved for data. It only knows what happens within the hard drive of the single device it is installed on. XDR is deeply integrated. It pulls rich, contextual data from endpoints, networks, cloud providers, email servers, and Active Directory systems simultaneously. Because of this difference in data ingestion, the threat visibility between the two is drastically different. Antivirus offers a severely siloed view. If an attacker jumps from the network to the endpoint, the AV only sees the final moments of the attack. XDR provides a unified, holistic view. It sees the attacker breach the firewall, compromise the email, and move laterally across the network. When an alert does fire, the context provided dictates how fast security teams can respond. Antivirus provides minimal context. It tells you a file was bad and that it deleted it, leaving analysts guessing how it arrived in the first place. XDR delivers a full attack timeline, showing the exact root cause. It then executes an automated, orchestrated response across firewalls and endpoints simultaneously. Alert fatigue is a massive issue in cybersecurity, driven largely by false positives. Legacy antivirus generates a higher rate of false positives because it makes decisions based entirely on isolated file behavior without broader context. XDR significantly lowers false positives. Because it requires multiple correlated events across different layers to trigger a critical alert, its fidelity is much higher. When facing the most devastating attacks, like zero-day exploits and advanced ransomware, the technology gap is undeniable. Antivirus is fundamentally weak against zero days because no signature exists yet. Its ransomware defense is only partial, often triggering too late. XDR offers strong zero-day protection through AI behavioral analytics. It provides comprehensive ransomware defense by halting unauthorized encryption processes globally. Given the differences in cost and complexity, when should you deploy which technology? For a home computer or personal laptop, a reliable antivirus is perfectly adequate. XDR would be massive overkill. For small businesses, antivirus is essential, and XDR is optional. But for large enterprises and active security operations centers, XDR is an absolute necessity. It is important to understand that XDR does not entirely replace antivirus, it absorbs and extends it. Antivirus provides reactive, file-level protection. EDR, or endpoint detection and response, envelopes AV and adds behavioral monitoring. Finally, XDR envelopes EDR, unifying those endpoint capabilities with network, cloud, and identity defenses into one ultimate platform. In summary, the digital battlefield has shifted dramatically. In today's threat landscape, dominated by sophisticated ransomware, supply chain attacks, and advanced persistent threats, traditional antivirus alone is dangerously insufficient for organizational defense. XDR represents the necessary and inevitable evolution of enterprise security. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the critical differences between legacy antivirus and modern XDR platforms. As attackers continue to innovate, our defensive architectures must evolve to maintain visibility and control across the entire digital ecosystem. Stay informed, stay secure, and ensure your defenses are prepared for the threats of tomorrow.